You said at one time when you started teaching, it was like all these other people were stepping in and using more linear motion. It was like you kind of liked having the secret.
I think I understand Kung Fu Sansu a little bit differently than most of the other studios. So a lot of the things that I mentioned here are probably somewhat controversial because they don't understand it and use it the same way as we talked about this evening. Right? It really gives me a big thrill because I think I understand a little bit better and a little bit more than they do, so it kind of builds my ego. But
how did you get that understanding? Was that just from watching? Is that what Jimmy did, or how did you?
I've been with Jimmy since 1963. He opened the studio in 1959. I started in 1963, and I've been with him continually until the time that he passed away. I've never missed this, coming to his studio more than 1 week out of the year. Even though I would have 2 weeks vacation, I would take a 1 week vacation and come back and spend the other week with him.
It's like you see people, they've spent little time with Jimmy and then they say, well, this is how he said it, so.
Well, for Jimmy to want you to take the studio.
I feel very good about that. He asked me to take the studio. He said he wanted a place for all his top students to come back and practice and learn. It would be a shame to just close him to retire, to close it and then go away. You know, the people spend a lot of time, a lot of money trying to learn and learn from him.
Wasn't there a concern that there's a purity, if that's the right word to use, to Kung Fu Sansu the way it was taught by Jimmy, and now
it's divergent. It's bigger than me. Yeah. Right, and I can't stop the process. Right. I'm just happy that I can share what I've learned from him. Okay?
So is there going to be like factions? You know, this.
There is. There is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, big factions now. Okay? Yeah. But see, it's bigger than me. I can't control it. Yeah. I don't hope to try. Okay? Yeah. I'm just happy that I have my little studio in El Monte, that I still have students. And as long as they're willing to come, as soon as they say, hey, this guy's full of, you know what, I don't want to go there, well, I'll close the doors and say, I had my fun. Yeah, but I'm not going to, I don't want to stop progress. It's bigger than me. I can't train the whole world, and I don't want to. I only want to train the people that want to come to me.
What do you think of grappling?
Grappling is part of Kung Fu, and it has its place. The part that's disappointing to me is that I call them death grips. You get each other in death grips and practice getting out of them. Well, if you think about it, if the guy has you in a hold and doesn't want to let you out, it's going to be almost impossible to get out unless you have a special talent or skill. And this guy, Gracie, has a special talent or skill. Okay? And it's not necessarily grappling that makes him. It's that he's exceptionally quick.
Technician.
Right. He's exceptionally quick. And he has a tremendous desire. And those are the two key things that I think that gives him an advantage, not the art. Especially now. Look at now. Okay. He's kind of gone out of competition because he can't stand up to the pounding. I mean, if Gracie Jiu-Jitsu was so good, he should be able to go in there and whip them all. I mean, continually.
His brother probably could.
Okay, well, that's what the magazines say. But there's some tough guys.
He's getting bigger and stronger, and grappling alone isn't going to be.
That's right. That's just the point. Yeah, there's some big, strong, tough guys now. Right, and this last one,
right.
Okay, it really showed that. There's some big, strong, tough guys. Okay? And to counter that, it's not necessarily the strongest, toughest guy that's going to win. The Russian won.
That guy could take a hit, though.
So there's a little bit of luck. It wasn't skill. There was a little bit of luck because both of them were so exhausted that they couldn't do. I mean, they had to lay on top of each other and they were so exhausted, all they did was breathe on each other because they couldn't flip each other over or do anything effectively to each other. And
The Russians just need a little more technique.
he just got lucky. Well, he didn't. He says, "I show you technique." Right? Remember when he won his early matches? You haven't seen technique yet. I show you technique.
Severn showed him some technique for the first one.
That wasn't a technique. He got lucky.
None of that was really a lot of technique in there. It was just also that that's the first time I'd ever watched that, and I was really disappointed that they called it that these were so-called trained martial artists. You know,
Well, the
They're
early
brawlers.
the,
it was
the
street
early
fighting. They were big, you know, this kind of stuff, and
Yeah.
boom,
Your worst
he hit
nightmare
him.
in a
He
bar
just so
fight.
happened to hit his,
The strongest,
big guy
yeah.
fell down and hit his head, and you know.
Okay, the early matches, Gracie was able to demonstrate technique. Okay, he really had the element of surprise, and nobody knew how to fight him. And he was able to choke people out and get people in arm bars and so on and so forth, because he had the element of surprise. And that's what we talk about so much in this art, the element of surprise. That's why I tell you not to fight, not to have a starting position. Whether you're standing with your hands on your hips, or when you're standing with your arms crossed, get at least one shoulder forward.
Did you see the last one? Did you see the Taekwondo guy? How he was, well, he came in, he was punching that guy a lot. He wasn't turning his shoulders at all. Wasn't hurting the guy, and the guy just hit him once, knocked him out. He's just totally, he kept boom, 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 boom. The guy just brushing him, and then boom, one hammer, and that was it. That point right there, I was like, man, look at that, no shoulder turner. Wasn't stepping in, he was out here trying to hit the guy. Amazing.
But generally, the strongest tough guy gonna win, no matter what art he comes from. And what about the guy that carried the cross in the first time?
Chemo.
Chemo.
Yeah, I know some of Joe's son's students, man, that work out at the gym. Man, when he got in there, he got beat. They're like, well, the guy cheated because he hit him in the groin. That's their excuse. But it's like, yeah.
Those are fun. Those are interesting. Okie doke. Thank you.
Good night, thanks.
Sure.
Thank you, Jack.